Join me today on Walk with History as we talk about the most famous pinups from Hollywood, California.
C'est moi, ce soir, it's you and me, c'est quoi? Je suis, maybe, the only one I need. Bonjour, j'adore, you're all I want and more. Ça va, au revoir, it's only un, deux, trois. Un, deux, trois.
Hi, Jenn at Walk with History here at the Hollywood sign. It used to say Hollywood Land a long time ago, but they took the land off. They put that sign out there to sell real estate here in the area. Now it's just become an iconic part of Los Angeles area. I think Hugh Hefner had paid to have it refurbished. For a long time it was like in disrepair. But today we're going to talk about the most famous pinups of all time. Pinups left such a mark on history. They influenced morale, especially during World War II, the 1940s. That's really the birth of the pinup, when men would write to these magazines asking for photographs of women so they could put them in their bunks and paint them on planes, and depicting them in, semi-undressed states of undress. But we're going to try to find the most famous influencers of the pinup here today in Los Angeles. So we're going to be looking for Marilyn Monroe, Bettie Page, Betty Grable, and maybe even the first pinup ever. These are the older cemeteries of Los Angeles, kind of tucked away and more difficult to find, but I think we can do it. I think we can honor these women of American history. I found the queen of all pinups, Miss Bettie Page. She's here, not far from Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe is right there, and Bettie Page is right here. April 22nd, 1923, December 11th, 2008. Miss Bettie Page was a pinup model. She kind of pushed the envelope. She was definitely rebellious. She definitely had a different kind of niche with her pinup photos. She was called the Queen of Curves, the Dark Angel, subject of thousands of photographs during and after the Korean Wars. But it says Queen of Pinups here on her grave with a flower there, which is, so perfect for the pinup girl. An influencer of American history and definitely one of the most famous pinups in the world. So we're looking for the crypt of Betty Grable. She's here at Inglewood Memorial Park in California. Betty Grable is one of the original pinups. She is the one with the white bathing suit, kind of turned to the back and smiling. They say she took that picture because she was a little bit pregnant and didn't want to show her belly, so she turns to the back and smiles. And that photograph was a quintessential pinup photograph used by GIs during World War II. So Betty Grable is one of the most famous pinups. And because of that, we're going to honor her today. We're going to find her today. I'm on the search. So here's the grave of pinup Betty Grable. It says Lillian Grable, her mother, and then Betty Grable James' daughter, 1916, 1973. One of the original pinups, the turn to the back and look pinup in the white swimsuit. She took that picture because she was a little pregnant and didn't want to show her belly, so she looks over her shoulder and takes the picture like this. But it's just so great to be here. That photograph went viral in the 1940s in magazines, and then GIs would put them all over their bunk rooms, and her silhouette's painted on the side of aircrafts. It's a little reminiscent of Memphis Belle, but we're here today to honor her. We found her. She's here in the sanctuary of Dawn. Thank you for what you did for GIs during World War II, and thank you for who you were in American history. and all the morale you left behind.
All night long, we don't ever wanna stop.
And here is Marilyn Monroe, 1926, 1962, the most famous original pinup buried beside Hugh Hefner. She dies August 4th, 1962 at age 36 of a drug overdose. Joe DiMaggio would send flowers here every week, a bouquet of flowers, and Joe DiMaggio is actually the one who paid for burying her and keeping her here. Hugh Hefner bought the crypt after she was buried here and always said he would be buried beside her. But like I said, people come here, put on the red lipstick and kiss the grave, so much so that it's been colored pink from wiping off all the red lipstick. Now Walk with History isn't going to do that because it's defacing a grave, but we'll kiss towards it. And because she is the most famous pinup, we're going to leave a flower here in her honor. So that's for you, Miss Monroe.
C'est moi, ce soir, it's you and me, c'est quoi?
So this is Dorothy Lamour Howard. This is considered the original pinup girl. And she's buried here beside her husband. Pinups first appeared in Life magazine and were photo articles of Hollywood glamour. Pinup artists would draw these women, these Hollywood glamour women. They became the first pinups. These risque photographs coincided with American culture to introduce the pinup girl. July 7th, 1941, in a feature on actress Dorothy Lamour. Didn't become a social phenomenon until 1943. So remember, it was Life magazine, July 7th, 1941, a feature article on Dorothy Lamour. That's why she's considered the very first pinup girl. So Walk with History found the very first pinup girl. Now, Dorothy Lamour is like a woman of color. She did these road movies with Bing Crosby and Bob Hope. She did a movie called, I think, Jungle Princess or Jungle Queen. She wore a sarong. She's a very beautiful woman, but she took those risque, beautiful photographs that GIs wanted to put up in their bunk rooms, and they used those silhouettes for the nose art on their aircraft. And Walk with History has an entire video about nose art if you're interested in that. We found the very first pinup. What a cultural phenomenon this woman started in American culture, in war culture, war bonds, USO shows, and what women did to build morale for troops. So we're just so grateful to be here today. We're gonna leave a flower. The very first female pinup of all time, Miss Dorothy Lamour. It's just a great adventure I had today, going all around Los Angeles, finding these iconic women who made their mark on American history, what they did for morale, what they did for other women, what they did for confidence, what they did for beauty, everything these women did to boost the morale of America. On to my next Walk with History.
C'est moi, ce soir.